Good evening, homebrewers and brew fans. Welcome to a homebrew review. My name is Ashley from Sexton-brewing.com, and tonight we are reviewing my Imperial Stout called Cuckoo for Cocoa Stout. I know, so sort of a mouthful there. So this was an Imperial Stout brewed with basically just a late addition of cocoa towards the end of the boil. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Recipe-wise, I'm going to rifle off some of the malts I used, yeast, hops, hop schedule. Well, the hop schedule, mash guidelines, all that stuff, you can find the link down below, which will bring you to sexton-brewing.com, my website. You can have a bunch of recipes there, some tasting feedbacks, and also link backs to some other people's reviews of my beer. So let's get into this. So this was, again, as I mentioned, Imperial Stout, brewed with, an active one there. Just with some late addition of some cocoa from the boil. Malts used, 2-row, Maris Otter, some chocolate malt, Crystal 120, as well as some roasted barley. Used Magnum at 11.8% alpha at 60 minutes. And then some EKG or East Kent Goldings at, I think, 30 minutes in the boil. Threw in 8 ounces of cocoa, 10 minutes left. Fermented with some USO 5. And there she sat. So this was brewed on December 16th and bottled on this, January 12th, if I'm not mistaken. Final IBUs, this one came out at 58%, 58 IBUs, and the final ABV on this was 8.8. Original gravity was 1081, final gravity 1014. So I undershot the original gravity, what was supposed to be. It was supposed to be 1085. It came out at 1081, no big deal. Final gravity was supposed to be 1021. I finished at 1014. Whatever, it all comes out in the wash. So there we go. So what we get, that's a dark beer right there. Super dark. Nothing coming out on the edges when held up to the light. Got like a light khaki head. As you saw, the carbonation was a little off. Sort of an active bottle there, but no big deal. This is being served right at room temperature. This has never hit the fridge whatsoever. So yeah, we got about an inch there of a khaki head there. Non-uniform bubbles there. A little fluffy, sort of dissipating a little bit. But not a big surprise when you have adjuncts such as cocoa added. So, yeah, appearance, it looks the part. It looks thick, it looks creamy. Yeah, let's give her a whiff, see what we get. So on the nose, there's a sweet component to it. You'd almost think it was lactose. It sort of has a vanilla aroma to it. But then you get some real dark, rich chocolate malt coming through. The chocolate malt sort of screams through on this one. And then you get like some dark chocolate from the cocoa, obviously. You can't not get that aroma in this. There's a little bit of like a dark stone fruit component to it as well. So like a little figgy, I wouldn't say raisiny, but definitely like some dark fig. Touch of alcohol on it, on the nose. 8.8% serving at room temperature. Not that big of a surprise though. So, anyways, cheers. So right off the bat, mouthfeel, thick. I'd say this is definitely medium to high. Medium high with regards to the mouthfeel. Coats the palate. It's got like a sort of a velvety thickness, almost like you're drinking like a really thick hot chocolate. That type of mouthfeel to it. It's got an earthy bitterness to it. Obviously, I mean with the EKG, not a big surprise there. That sort of earthy English sort of stout-esque, like just that normal type of bittering that you're sort of flavor that you're sort of like hop flavoring that you're sort of expecting from a stout, sort of coming through there. And then after that, after you get through that initial bittering, it's just gobs and gobs of cocoa. Not like sweet cocoa, sort of like a bittering, obviously. Didn't add any lactose to this whatsoever. Although you got that vanilla on the aroma a little bit, you're definitely not getting any of that lactose sweetness or anything like that on this. This is just straight like dark, rich stout with nice dark cocoa flavors to it. Very nice. Drinks super smooth too. Good carbonation to it. Not overly active, but just enough that it just helps coat the palate quite well. Very nice. Yeah, I think the one fault in this though, if I were to sort of pick it apart, again, as homebrewers, that's what we do. As homebrewers, we are most often our own worst critics, or harshest critics, I should say. You know, the alcohol does come through a little bit. Again, this has probably only been in bottle for just over 3 weeks, so I'm sure if I were to sit on a few bottles and let this age out a little while, it probably sort of smoothen itself out with regards to the alcohol. But I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with this brew. I'd probably make a few subtle changes to it. I'd be interested to see what this would actually turn out with the lactose, to see if I can make it more of like a decadent dessert beer, since this is coming across more on the bitter side of like an adjunct type of stout. So it'd be interested to see what what a lactose addition would do to it, to bring it over to the more decadent side of things. Overall, really tasty brew. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely a recipe I'd probably brew again with a few minor tweaks, but I mean, overall, I think this is a pretty solid effort. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this. Anyways, if you like the video, it'd be awesome if you gave it a thumbs up. If you're a fan of beer, home brewing, anything like that, if you're interested in the hobby, please give me a subscribe and a follow. Hit that notification bell if you want to know when I put some videos up. So yeah, other than that, guys, hope you have a great night. Go enjoy some great beer, and if you're a home brewer, keep on brewing. Try out some weird stuff, and yeah, go out and brew some good beer. Cheers, guys. Have a good night.